man, because behind the scenes, quite literally, he was talking about how good Oxygen was, how good they're going to be, and yet split on the desk. I think Digital Bacon's looking a few extra fans there, so if you want, it's at Digital Bacon 1 and tell them, get off the fence who you really support.
Yeah, just pandering to Twitch chat a little bit, but regardless, as the guys mentioned, this is an elimination game. Dignitas versus Oxygen. One of these guys will not make Saturday and the playoffs. Whoever wins will have a date with destiny with FC Barcelona. And the winner of that game, well, good luck to you, because you have to go and face Liquid tomorrow in the winner's semi-final games, or the first round games, whatever you want to call them, in the playoffs. Regardless, Dignitas, we saw them earlier, Danny, and we praised their offensive pressure. They often got caught out by Singularity just being way too speedy to the ball.
Well, there have been sort of situations where you had to question Dignitas's sort of decision-making crafters. Yeah, it came down to that Yukio VP sort of thing, in fact, Yukio feeling uncomfortable, and Island Pan did those one or two decisions that really did cost them in their match, and now fighting for survival.
And fighting for most of the possession of this ball are guys of Dignitas. 4 shots towards net, each one having 1 shot now. Yuki has 2. Oxygen still to register something on target. Astro was trying his best to work that one downfield, but Yuki, straight towards net. Just done that in, double save from Shaw set and the like. Nevertheless, Dignitas have most of the possession, most of the field to work with. And Oxygen just finding it hard to get into this one and rotate around quick enough, because Dignitas are just holding on to this ball for dear life.
Well, for the time being, and that pass there, the Dignitas of old, if it connected, it would have been the 1-2 connection that they desperately needed. And so far here, it's somewhat quiet for a majority of the VP's demo. There's Ferrer to open wide with a chance, but again, this opening game here, Crafter, has been subdued at best.
Here comes Chaussette, though, off the backboard and gets the touchdown. Beautiful double touch by the Frenchman, and gets the opener here in this losers semi-final.
Well, when you need a spark, Chaussette's the man to call, quite literally bringing the electricity into the game, finally forces Dignitas to come out playing. Trilling 1-0 near enough at the halfway mark, and Jonas already up, no double surely, as Astro's in time, but VP in position.
Dignitas pushing hard here. Want to get one back fairly quickly. You gotta feel bad for Dignitas, they've been pushing hard all throughout the first half of this game, and now Yorez towards net, hits the crossbar, actually hits Astro. This one bouncing fairly dangerously, as Violent Panda was coming in for that one, but well coped with by the Oxygen defense. Dignitas pushing hard in that first half of the game and getting nothing out of it, and then just getting counter-attacked by Chaussette in that double tap. Gotta feel bad for the Panda. Has to make a last-minute diving tackle to get that save away. Here comes Yorez over the top of everyone. Can Astro make it? Yes, he can. But Yorez finds Yuki on the left-hand side. But it is well defended once again by Oxygen Esports, and Dignitas, they're trying to throw everything at this net, and still nothing is sticking.
Oh, what was wonderful there, Yorez actually redirecting the ball backwards, knew the angle wasn't favourable, so played to a teammate. Yukio double, off the post it goes, and Chaussette keeps it to the corner, tries to go to the halfway line. Astro beaten, and it's a one-man show there, and Ferrer decides to have enough, launches downfield. Oxygen Esports, they're in defence here.
That they are. Trying to win out battles in the midfield, and Dignitas are still doing it. It's just their final third, their shooting ability is just not there. 3 shots from Yorez on his own, and 4 from Yukio, in fact, for that matter. Still nothing on the board. Now Oxygen looking to maybe get a second, but well coped with by the Dig defense. Here comes Yorez, look at that, double tap down. Where is Yukio? There he is, towards the backboard once again, but Ferrer's going to pick that one up. Everyone from Dignitas pushed up, and Oxygen will just get the quick counter.
It was nice to see them trying to attack, but overextension seems to be a considerable beat at this point here. And Crafters, as much as we want to see Dignitas come out, Oxygen playing well, do in terms of the opening here. As I said, they're going past 1 here, so a very healthy 2-goal lead.
and not overextending too much. Honestly, when Dignitas were in the situation they were in, just try to throw everything. Overextension might be forgivable, but you've got to be prepared, especially if you're only 1 goal down. And with 30 seconds left, it's a bit dire for Dignitas at this moment in time. Yukio will try his hand at net, just held by Chaussette off the backboard. Now Ferrer looking for Astral in the middle, will not find him. Chaussette will follow this one up, follows through, in fact, as well, under the crossbar. And if it wasn't confirmed already, it is now. Oxygen 3-0 up, going to take game 1.
Yep, just simply a powerhouse. This team, Oxygen Esports, that came in around, has sort of a flat Euros Cup. But bar that, Dignitas, they have not shown up in their first series of the day. Game 1 here, when it really does count here, elimination. Let's not forget that. They are slow, lethargic, and they still haven't found a way to crack this Oxygen Esports.
And Astro might put a 4th one in for good measure. But regardless, timer ticks to 000s. And Oxygen are going to take game 1. And Dignitas maybe get a consolation goal at the end. I think this one's just going to drop down. Yeah, Astro will put it to Chaussette. Oh, lovely doink through! Oh, Chaussette putting the nail in the coffin here in game 1. And they didn't need it here, Danny, but that has got to play on Dignitas' mind. The little flick and the doink from Chaussette, sealing game 1 away, and Oxygen sitting pretty above the European champions.
Oh, you just sit there and look at Oxygen Esports. The moment when Astral moves over to that side, you sort of sit there, who's he replacing? All right, Fruity's the man to go. We'll sort of ignore Fruity for the time being. Astral, what a performance there. 2 assists, 2 shots there, 36 ball touches. You can look at the possession stats. They are just dominating Dignitas in the major areas there, Crafters, and Dignitas look clueless.
They really do, and we mentioned it earlier when they were playing Singularity. They just looked lost on defense. They were scrambling about, both on, not just on defense, but upfield as well, and in the midfield. Dignitas just seemed all over the place. And the guys in the desk mentioned it about Joessi maybe not fitting in this team just yet. But we mentioned when they were taking on Singularity, he did have his moments, Joessi, but he does need to do a lot more, because you can't expect Violent Panda and Yukio to do all that. And especially from Yukio. Yukio, we know how good of a player he is. He just needs to show that on the field as well and work Joessi into a better position, because all these guys on Dignitas, they're world-class players. They need to put up world-class performances on the field every time they take it, and they're not doing that, at least in game 1 against Oxygen here.
Yeah, you mentioned sort of that sort of key phrase there, world-class Crafters. I mean, when you set the bar so high, Violent Pandas, what a career he has. Yukio, to be fair, has been exemplary, just missing a few trophies in the cabinet. When you look at the opposition side, so set Ferrer, it's a scary proposition, bolstered up with Astro. Yours is, of course, going to look like the weak link. Bit of shame to say that, but give him time. But Ferrer right now, time on the ball, no shot, been dealt away, and Eurus unleashed with the attack.
And Dignitas just can't seem to counter-attack all that quickly. Every time they win the ball in their own half, it takes them time to work this back downfield. And Oxygen have the time to rotate back through and just set up for what has been a particularly solid defense against Dignitas here. Not to say that they haven't been reading the plays, they have been taking these away. Here comes Panda though onto net. Astro will deal with that effectively. And Ferrer leaves that for Yukio. Oh, striking towards that top right corner. Player goes for a bump onto Chaussette, doesn't make it, and Chaussette will easily take this one away. But that's the creativity we want to see from Dignitas. That's the only way you're going to really get past this Oxygen defense, if you start to be creative and start to do things that are a little bit unpredictable, because we try to do the same things. It's what we saw from Vitality yesterday, taking on Liquid. They just were not being creative enough, and Liquid were reading every play, and exactly the same thing with the Oxygen here.
Sort of the comparisons is fair, but two different teams, two different play styles, and the sort of the major point is, as you said, they have not found a way of creativity, haven't found a way of sort of breaking Oxygen Esports. Even when they're at the defense, they're getting to that last touch when needed. Astral taking the ball away. Eurus, what a pass, he's found a teammate, quick shot, no, pull and drag, and that will do. Dignitas finally puts one in.
Slow it down to a snail's pace, and Ferrer just jumps at it. Wonderfully played by Yukio. And the guys mentioned Yukio needs to step up. That maybe just be the spark that Yukio needs to get himself back into this matchup, get back into what has been a not great day for Dignitas here in the Grand Prix. And maybe they start to redeem themselves here in game number 2. 2 minutes gone in this game 2 for Dignitas. Probably need this one more than anything. They do not want to go down to match point right on to game 3, but Oxygen will do their best to make sure that happens instead. Panda now towards net. Chaussette will step in front of it. And again, just all the opportunities coming Dignitas' way. Whether they go in or not, that's a different question. But Panda will slot that in the top right corner. Oxygen held back and Dignitas pounds.
Right on point. You need a captain to lead yourself out of a problem. Violent Panda's the man to call, and when you have Oxygen sat deep, far too deep in their own net, not challenging Crafters, well, there's only one result of a man of that caliber. The experience will do, and he's already looking to put goal number 3, Oxygen, trying to get some life into the second gear.
Certainly are. It's really worrying when you see Oxygen just holding back, not going for these challenges. Yukio almost slots one in from the corner in the tight angle. Oxygen, like you say, they're just being very passive, and we mentioned that's not what you really want to do against Dignitas. You want to be in their faces and shut them down, because if you give Yukio space like he had there, just misses the touch on that one. If you've given him enough space, especially Joessi as well, we know what he's capable of in his solo plays from the salt mine as well. Oh, that's it, in fact. Oh me, oh my. Astro will get credit for this one, but that's a mistake by the Dig defense.
When you look at that one, Joessi had position, had that one all save, and yet world champions still are human after all. They can make mistakes. VP took it away from him, concedes a goal. That's the comfort gone, and Joessi trying to rebuild a little bit of confidence into the team morale as Yukio for the double anywhere in field. No, it doesn't. And Chaussette moves that one down comfortably. Oxygen now have a sign where they can find a way right through.
You can see Chaussette just being super duper passive there, holding back as far as he dare, daring Dignitas to make the shot right into him, and they certainly are just pushing up and right into the faces of Oxygen. Out of the corner, Astro will take this against his former squad. Gets the demo onto Joessi, the man who placed him. In fact, here comes Yukio over the top, and he beats out Ferrer. I'm not sure if he even made the touch, but regardless, it's 3-1 Dig.
Chaussette beaten, Sealan beat to the offensive Oxygen. Yukio was just sitting there following behind it just in case of being able to the second touch. Well, it's nice to see Yukio making a mark, at least in the second game. It's at least continues compared to the suffering defeat in game 1. You're right to go, ooh and ah, that was close, but again, here comes Dignitas.
Here they come, double touch by Joessi. Doesn't find the mark this time, but so dangerous. And Dignitas are feeling it, but not in defense. Ferrer fires from long range and pulls it back within 1.
Just moving across quite nicely, just gets the position. Violent Panda can't get the finishing touch away, and suddenly that Oxygen, who looked beaten 2 minutes ago, finally showing they have at least a chance here to get back at Dignitas to steal the game away from them. Joessi beaten by Astro. Now anywhere in field, Ferrer is hounding and hassling. He has to go alone, he won't have the support, pops it across. Ferrer wait patiently there. Dignitas are sweating with the remaining 30 seconds.
That they are, but they're holding on to the possession, and that's the main thing as well. It's interesting that they're deciding to still push all 3 men up into the blue half of the field rather than just park the bus. Because both the Oxygen Esports goals in this game have came off of defensive mistakes by Dig. Let's not shroud that in any secrecy at all. Chaussette will try and play it into the middle for Ferrer, but taken away by Joessi. Into the corner. Chaussette maybe try to pick this up. One more play, 30 boost in his tank, 0 seconds on the clock, and Dignitas will slightly tap it into the ground and tie the series.
Well, it's a very contrasting series, Crafters. You look just how the way they've been playing. Dignitas comes out timid, afraid of Oxygen, bounce back in game 2. Statistically, a little bit more comfortable if you're a Dignitas fan. Boost consumption's a little bit higher. Field dominance much more the way you want it. Ball possession, matched even though. Those are the 3 sort of bars that you can see at the bottom. And yet Dignitas had a very comfortable lead, but threw it away and allowed Oxygen to come back.
Yeah, I mean, they had the lion's share of the shots as well. With, if I do some quick caster math, that's 9-3-4 in favor of Dignitas. And obviously, 60%, we talked about the field domination stat earlier on, Danny, and how Dignitas were dominating in that throughout the game with Singularity. But they never really got any chances going. They could squander chances, but this one, they took the chances where it mattered. It was just defense that let them down, and obviously the couple little, you might call them lucky plays from Oxygen, that the Dignitas defense just fell apart. But the important part in that sentence is the Dignitas defense fell apart. You cannot give Oxygen the chances and open the door for them to come through, because they will take advantage if you give them space, which, to be fair, Dignitas has not been giving an inch of grass on this field to them.
You're absolutely right again, Crafters. I mean, you can look at down, you can say it's a fabulous shot, it's a clip hit, but is the defense perfect? You can always probably spot a small mistake and you can look back and sort of go, we could have fixed that, we could have solved the issue, or something happened 5 seconds earlier. And so far, Dignitas, the defensive work there required. You can see him trying to search for a ball underneath. He goes for Yukio. One shot's followed through. Unfortunately, Ferra couldn't get it through.
Communication there from Oxygen was worked perfectly, letting Joessi come in for that one, not commit Astral on it. So they keep possession in the Dignitas half. Joessi keeps this one on his top of his car, but Joessi will have something else to say about that. The first downfield presence really in this game, number 3 for Dig, is started here, but relieved for the moment by Joessi towards the backboard, looking for that double tap down. Astral was in shooting range, but he's lost the challenge there. Dignitas all the way through to the blue half, but taken quickly back by Oxygen. Oh, Astral, lovely flick. Can't squeeze it under the crossbar. Neither can Joessi get it back into the middle. Fair will pick this one up, but the chance has been and gone for Oxygen. What a lovely little flick by the former Dig member.
What a love as well there, Crafters. He looked around, trying to spot a teammate. No, so what was the best option? That delay flick just does absolute wonders to still have the immediate pressure. Astral just stomping on any Dignitas player there in that situation. So set, quick little fling right through. Astral shot, and that shot is wide. Oxygen Esport buries one into the corner. Ferra still continues though.
Oh, and Astral was there, but he was pushed a little bit too far up. Didn't have the correct angle on it. Still 0-0, but it could be one in favor of Dig. Violent Panda gets squeezed away by the defense. Now the Dig attack really is on, but Joessi will cut that one down. Everyone from Dig has to retreat back, and now it's time for Oxygen to push up, but they're not doing it quick enough. That Astral beats out Panda. Can he beat the defense? No, he can't this time. Yukio will clear along and reset Oxygen on their back line. Astral.
Oh, Astral! Goodbye, Dignitas. The defense is gone. When you have Astral there, it's just simply goodbye.
Oh, beautifully done. Astral just sticking it to his former roster and putting it right over the head where Dig can't get to it. 2.5 minutes gone. 2.5 to go. And Oxygen Esports, they can feel it right now. Ferra towards the backboard, no follow-up from his teammates, but Astral's in the corner there. Joessi will take this one away. Now the push is on for Dig once again. Ferra can't get it into his open space, but he gives it to Yukio. Joessi was there to intercept as Ferra was trying to clear, and Dig tied it back up.
Well, the former teammate's not quite happy about that. It was passed, of course, by us, the new one. Oh, this series is heating up quite nicely. Poised between the two. They couldn't be break. In the 2 series is 1 apiece, 1 each in game 3. And there's Astral trying to find Ferra.
Ferra.
Shots in a tie.
Oh, this is heating up. I look back in game number 1 as if it was going to be a bit of a whitewash here, Danny, but Dignitas, to give them credit, have fought their tails off, but Astro is starting to pop off. He is starting to feel himself. Solo play around the entire defense will not be pulled off this time. He's got shots in the middle. Can he dunk it down? No. Yukio will take it away this time. Tie game. 1:40 on the clock. Dignitas pushing, but Oxygen looking to put their noses out in front and get themselves onto match point. Remember, elimination on the line here. Winning, you're into the playoffs. Lose, and you are out. Neither of these teams want to have that moniker of going out in the group stage, much like Top Blokes did yesterday. Here comes Dignitas. Here comes Violent Panda. Over the top, will not find him, but finds the pass from Yorez. Top left corner, and Digger ahead.
Mention of elimination. Violent Panda does not know what those words mean. Not at this stage anyways. Picks his spot. Absolutely pitch perfect there. Oh, that was a delightful. Now we see what Oxygen are made of. They have to respond under 60 seconds. And we see Yukio already going up. We've seen Astro having some
Yukio!
fun. What a stop by Astro. Yukio may have the the eyes against him. Wide open net. Equalising goal. Dignitas punished.
And the overcommitment, the overzealousness from Dignitas will not go in their favour. It's Chaussette's goal, but well, it's Astro's goal, but Chaussette should take most of the credit for it. Oxygen tie things up. 57 seconds left on this clock, on this tie series. But Astro over the top. He's been absolutely outstanding in games 2 and 3 here. This one trickling towards net. Yukio will get credit. How the hell has that happened?
I think in this series, probably be named where is the defense? And right now, both sides has been caught overextending. Dignitas will unfortunately take the advantage if you're an Oxygen fan. That bit of glimmer of hope has gone, and Yukio could put another one on. That one saved by the Chaussette. Joessi there trying to keep it fresh. 30 seconds and near enough. Dignitas just has to park the bus at this point.
Oh, brilliant pass into Ferra though towards the backboard. Can he follow up? He can't. Taken away by the defense swiftly on that one. Less than 30 seconds remaining. Chaussette goes for it once again, but will not find the target. Just finds Violent Panda in open space. And every single Oxygen esports fan in the chat right now is scratching their heads. They knew how Dignitas gave them the lead. They overcommitted, and now Oxygen are doing the exact same, and they're 2 down.
Oxygen will probably sit there and be absolutely frustrated at times here. Crafters have had some way of propelling themselves up, and yet they keep getting knocked down by Dignitas once they're feeling it. It's a shame here because that will put Dignitas on match point, and more importantly, Oxygen could be eliminated within 4 games.
Be a great shame to lose either one of these teams in the fashion that Oxygen Esports has dismantled themselves in this game number 3, 4-2. Dignitas takes it, but you've got to feel that Oxygen had the game in the palm of their hands and they just ended up throwing it away.
You get yourself in those situations. Yes, you can play a bit passive across Oxygen before, but Crafters, you have to take your opportunities when it presents itself. Forcing it, you're going to get punished for it, and that's what Oxygen did there. You can just look at the shot count alone. The ball touches there. Oxygen out-touching Dignitas in the area. The stat alone shows you there. And yet, what did they do with it? Not very much.
5 shots from Astro alone. He had some phenomenal plays, and obviously I've been praising him as the best player in Oxygen Esports throughout this entire series, but Chaussette and Ferra, they need to play their part, especially on defense, because Dignitas, like you said, they're just going to push you and push you and push you and push you until you end up breaking. And even towards the end of that game, they even let Oxygen come up. They let them into their house, and they slammed the door in their faces. And now Dignitas are 1 game away from reaching the playoffs. Will this be the last gasp for Oxygen Esports? We've got 5 minutes on the clock. We're about to find out here, Danny. Dignitas will be on the front foot from the get-go, as they have been every single game this series. Oxygen on the back foot straight away.
That last gasp suddenly turns into an absolute choke. What a play. Dignitas just sat there, waited patiently for the mistake, and VP just drives that one home, and Dignitas is probably just sitting there laughing at the defense.
Giggling their sides off. The Dignitas offenses. And of course the fans in chat, lots of them. You're watching, glad you're with us here on the Rocket RB channel. Could this be the end of Oxygen? Could that be that last game when they really just threw it away? Could that be their last gasp, their last ride here in the Rocket Baguette Summer Grand Prix? Towards net, that one will go. Farah gets beaten out by Yukio, but Astral to the corner here, tries to drop it back in the middle. We know what he's capable of off the backboard. Shot set, little boost to his name, can't follow his own shot up. And Oxygen, they need to start pushing. Oh, that touch there from Farah is not going to go in a good position, but Astral, he's worked it well, giving it back to Farah onto the backboard. Shot set, shoots, and scores. And after what looked like a broken play, Oxygen get a goal out of it.
Well, when you have Astral just booting that one up to the backboard, Crafters, you're giving yourself a wider option, an angle leads you shoot left or right. And when Dignitas is really sort of trying to feign what's happening, comms is going to be broken. In fact, their position is going to be their downfall there too. 1 apiece with a minute near enough gone off the clock there. Going to see Oxygen now trying to hold the fort down and pick their opportunity, but Dignitas will not allow them, as Joessi will just put that one to the corner, and Yukio not ready for that one either.
Maybe Chaussette should have got a dodge while he could. Just sitting there really doing nothing but being a roadblock for his teammate coming in. He needed to get himself out of the corner, but he's got the boost now, finds Farah in the middle, actually finds Panda instead. Astral will, double commit by Farah, maybe not the best option for him, but he's in the corner in position, but it's given Oxygen a tough choice to make. Chaussette tries to delay the push even further because Farah jumped in on that one. If Farah hadn't done that and let Astral do his work, it could have easily been 2-1 at this point.
Trying to move into that potential goal line of 2-1, but Joessi stopping it. Chaussette just leathers it down the field, rightly so. He's last man. By Oxygen a bit of time here. Violet Panda infield pass, surely the air dribble just gets a bumping over, and that will do. Joessi is there in position, and Chaussette moves in. There is a battle just shifting on the pendulum between the two. One mistake will cost them. In the case of Oxygen, it will be good night and goodbye.
Yeah, remember you mentioned earlier, Danny, about Oxygen just being way too passive and not going for these 50-50 challenges. They have started winning these in the middle of the field. Lovely pass up from Farah to Chaussette, but can't get it through the car. Violent Panda. Astral will go for the corner now. They are starting to be a little bit more aggressive, our Oxygen Esports, trying to force these challenges, these wins in the middle of the field and indeed in the orange half as well. Dignitas are responding well to them of their own. Yukio now down the right hand side looking for Yorez. Started playing his role fairly well, and Yukio was starting to get himself into a bit of a rhythm. Violent Panda has to make a awkward looking save, but back into the middle. Ferrell bounced this down. Panda with the save. Chaussette with the follow-up, but right off the backboard and straight back into the hands of Dignitas.
Oxygen Esports are regulating themselves decently well, but don't want to be exposed at the backline. They had a scare moment there. Chaussette goes low, Ferrer on the chasing. Will Joessi go high or low? It doesn't matter. It's Astral in the middle, puts it there. Dignitas will be grateful. Good demo there. VP has a passing opportunity. Elects for the shot. Probably not the greatest decision that time around. And Astral, what a pinch! Good stop there by Yukio. That could have been a horrible mistake that cost Dignitas game 4.
They've still got a minute on the clock to survive this one. The onslaught from Oxygen is on. Obviously must-win game for Oxygen. Lose and you are out of the Rocket Baguette Summer Grand Prix. Chaussette now to the corner. Astral was waiting in the middle, but signing against it, probably looking towards overtime. At least not giving Dignitas too many silly chances. Opening the door for him, but now Joessi go back on this one. Yukio picks it up instead. Ferrer over the top. 30 seconds now, and Oxygen starting to work it in the Dignitas half of the field. Pushing. Get the demo onto Violent Panda. 20 seconds now. Can they create themselves an opportunity here towards the end of this game number 4, or will we have to go to extra time? Astro, 40 boost to his name. Can he do it? Gets shut down by Joessi, but Chaussette's there for the shot, and he gets it! 8 seconds to go, and Oxygen might have just saved their season.
Might have, but let's not forget there is a potential Crafters Dignitas kickoff. Well, Oxygen will be fearing that. Let's see how they will respond under that one. Last few seconds, highly unlikely to let that one play around. And they will play from the back lines as Yukio. No touch there, surely not.
And it won't be. As has been par for the course today, Danny, it is game 5 as that one hits down. Dignitas with no chance. And a 2-1 scoreline will seal the deal for Oxygen. And we do go to that crucial deciding game 5.
Well, the chance probably getting out in chat and Crafters there, reliving some of the lands that he's been to. Let's not get away from the whole thing. Even the casting crew is getting involved in the background there. But Digital Bacon, Crafters, sat on the fence. Dignitas or Oxygen, which one should I go for? Well, here's the tricky question. Which one are you going for?
Don't make me choose. I really don't want to choose. Do you know what? I feel for Bacon now, because he had to make a choice in the desk. We don't have to. We're not forced to make them in the commentary booth. We are obliged to be impartial here when we're casting the game. But I mean, it's a tough choice. Obviously, when you look at Dignitas coming into this game, they didn't perform fantastically well against Singularity, but we saw how well Singularity has been today. And both this Oxygen and Dignitas' side, they have played their little hearts out, and it will all end here for one of these teams. Game 5. We go to Champions Fields. Violent Panda, his name hanging high in the rafters on this legendary stadium. 2 times, in fact. No stranger to this one, but doesn't have turbo pulse at this time, but he finds the goal regardless. Bottom right corner, 15 seconds gone. Dig ahead.
There's probably a few players in the world would probably have a statue. VP would be one of them. Comfortable. I think he is relaxing on this field. Crafters already getting the opening goal. Oxygen 15 seconds already in rears as Yukio stuttering on the wall, and Ferrer has spotted that. Joessi anywhere upfield. Delays it, and Astral just waiting patiently. They are like sharks at the moment. Predators, the instinct is the challenge, but they waited for the right moment there at the battle, the midline here at Champions Field.
Ferrer down to Astral. Bail out on that one and let Chaussette come in for it towards the corner. Yukio trying to clear it out, but Astral right on him, and this is much better than we saw at the start of the series, or at least in game number 2 for Oxygen Esports, and that one's towards net! How Chaussette got that through, I have no idea. But the bumped-in demos come through, and Dignitas, pie on their faces, and explosions in their net. Oxygen tie it up.
Level 2 apiece in series, 1 goal each. Probably be cliche to say the next goal will win. There's probably still a bit of life into it as Astral already up. They were fighting for tournament life while Dignitas was looking 1 match ahead, while they're for 3rd or 2nd place. Now, that comfortability gone. They're already in their final 3rd. Astral pitch, wide it goes, high 2, and Ferrer. Mistake, Joessi. Can he pounce on the opportunity? Chaussette says no, and it's Violent Panda to play now.
Here comes Panda looking for Yukio in the middle, but intercepted by Chaussette. No one's there on the defense. What a play by Chaussette. Reads that wonderfully well from Violent Panda. He takes far too long on that, and Chaussette just says, I'll have that. Thank you very much, sir. Oxygen take the lead.
Dignitas are digging themselves out of the tournament by mistakes. Former world champion, as we keep on saying, harping on it, the stature of the man, and yet he does that. Well, questionable. But Oxygen Esports as it takes a very early lead, 90 seconds gone, and VP stops, blocked in Ferrer. He sees net, and VP is throwing himself at the ball just to make sure that wasn't going to slip in. 2-1 sounds good, 3-1 sounds like a tragedy, but Ferra, no touch there. Josette will have to play that one in, and Dignitas are scrambling, spread apart here. They could concede another.
This is more like the Dignitas we saw against Singularity, really disjointed and disfigured, but that one bounces down on the line, almost in for Dig. But they're starting to push. Oxygen have been slamming the door in Dignitas' faces in the middle of the field so far, but Dignitas have these openings every now and again, but so does Astral. Down to Joessi, he can't stick it in the back of the net. And as we approach halftime with 2.5 minutes gone, 2.5 to go, this one's still dangerous here in the orange half of the field. Violent Panda hits it into Ferra, tried to clear it, almost went in. And Joessi and Ferro still have possession of this one as Oxygen keep a hold of their lead. It was almost 3 off the boot of Violent Panda.
Own goal fever, hot in championship field. And Dignitas swarming right now in Oxygen's final third. Demo by Ferrer on Eurus, and Dignitas retreating back. The general VP at the back line. He will lead the troop surely out past one, and it looks like Joessi alone. Dignitas are moving. They're moving in formation, and Astral, their former teammate, slaps it away from it. It's Dignitas. You're gone.
But they're still in it with just under 2 minutes to go. Dignitas 1 goal away from sealing overtime, perhaps. Big bump onto Joessi, though, will open the back for Astral, and he's got it top end, top right corner. And that might be it for Dignitas. Still plenty of time left in the clock, though, but Oxygen have their safety net.
When people talk about some of the greatest team talks of all time, Verge probably being our esports as maybe the top man on the list. He will probably be screaming, shouting, telling his troops what to do in a situation like this. He has to. Seeing his team getting battered in Game 5, elimination. Let's not forget this, the new format here at the Grand Prix as Eurus blocks and Yukio sets that one.
Oh, Eurus, how the hell? How on earth did you get another touch on that? Unfortunate there wasn't a solid enough touch for Dig, and no one else was there to follow up. But Violent Panda from his backline finds Yukio upfield. Eurus is there but can't make contact again. Oxygen just closing the door, closing these lanes down. Ferra might make it 4, but just a little bit wide. Less than 60 seconds to go. Danny, Dig are on the brink, and Yukio towards net. Astral is there to send it back into the corner, and Dig are scrambling for every blade of grass here on Champions Field. Could have been 4 again, but Violent Panda keeps their dream alive for the moment.
Eurus follows the pass and Joessi. 30 seconds. That's the warden. 2 goals. They need to get 1 now to have any chance survival at its utmost. The fittest will be gone. Dig with 1 more save. They still have to play out there, scrambling for boost. Eurus over the VP. No connection. And the former world champion looking very tame. Average as Astral slows and whiz tame.
How
and
did you
VP makes a mistake. That's a mount, surely. Oxygen Esports are toying with Dignitas with the remaining seconds left.
Panda, how do you miss a sitter like that? Astral will just scoop that up. The gift from his former team to his new one. And Violent Panda has cost Dignitas their spot in the Grand Prix. Oxygen are breathing this air of champions here on Champions Field, and Oxygen make it to the playoffs.
When you look at that series there, you thought Dignitas, well, they might have had a slight chance. They looked on top, Crafters, they look convincing at portions, yet Oxygen, they're gone, out of breath. You need to get in the healer just to get them help, getting some lungs and that oxygen together, but yet, Game 5, Astral, that is a performance and a half.
Yeah, Astral, not just in that Game 5, but throughout that series, I really think Astral has started to step up within this team and really be that linchpin in Oxygen Esports, pushing everyone forward. But to be quite honest with you here, Danny, the story is not about Oxygen dominating. It's about Dignitas just breaking apart and just really looking a shadow of their former selves. I really don't know what to make of Dignitas going into our LCSX, because they just look disjointed, disfigured, not the world champions, or at least the world beaters that we know that Dignitas can be.
I don't know what many people will be considering that. They're looking at them and thought, probably like many of us thought, Dignitas probably comfortably through this group, yet they're eliminated. But we're going to need a bit of time to break this down, so potentially a break. I think that's probably.
I think so. I think we all deserve it. We had 4 Game 5s. Will we see a 5th in our winners' final? It will be FC Barcelona versus Oxygen Esports, as we saw earlier on. But it's first seeding. Winner plays Liquid. Loser goes to the losers bracket in the playoffs. What way is it going to go? We'll bring back Jar Jam after this short break and find out.